PBA on USA. Next.
Hi, I'm Stan, owner of Stan's Men's Shop. At Stan's, we're offering this suit here for $59 with a shirt and tie. Now, that's right, this shirt and tie and this suit for $59. Now, at Stan's, we have our own charge accounts. If you're new in town, been bankrupt, had a repossession, had a divorce, slow in paying your bills, or just turned down by others, we'll give you a chance to start your credit over again. I'll guarantee it. We're located on the corner of 4th and Fremont.
He's got style and personality.
Higher salaries predicted. That story and more next.
The Wall Street Journal Late News with William Bruce. Brought to you by Toyota's exciting cars and trucks for 1984. Toyota invites you to see them at your local dealer.
Good evening, everyone. Salaried workers should be getting fatter paychecks soon. The Conference Board says salary hikes could average about 6.5% both this year and next. That may even beat inflation. Looking at the economy as a whole, the head of the Atlanta Federal Reserve says it is expanding faster than previously thought. He puts current growth at nearly 7%. And the troubled Continental Illinois Bank may be nationalized. It seems a private rescue effort has failed, and the government may now take the bank over. Now this message.
Dan Gurney and his Toyota Celica GTS take on the All-American Racers pit crew. The pit crew looks over the Celica's ventilated disc brakes, the independent suspension. They check out the Celica's single overhead cam engine and electronic fuel injection. Inside, they check the Celica's luxurious comfort.
Oh!
What does all this mean to you?
This is the right stuff.
Oh, what a feeling. Celica. Toyota.
If you're looking for a new bank, you may want to check out a credit union. Thanks to deregulation, some now pay 12% interest on savings, and others offer free checking, no-fee credit cards, and access to automated tellers. And the Democrats are showing they know how to make a buck at the convention in San Francisco. The party is getting a percentage of the profits from sales of official mugs, posters, buttons, and even wine. On Wall Street, stock prices fell in moderate trading today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost almost 9 points on volume of about 85.25 million shares. I'm William Bruce. More news later from the Wall Street Journal on USA.
USA, the home of the most prestigious events in tennis, serves up another ace with Tennis Magazine Reports, featuring late-breaking news, profiles, instruction from the pros, and much more. Tennis Magazine Reports, delivered to your home at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. This is the USA Network.
From Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl in Dublin, California, the USA Network presents the Professional Bowlers Tour. Tonight, it's the $125,000 Kessler Open. Tonight's 5 finalists are in 5th place and currently 3rd on the PBA money list, Mike Durbin. The 4th place finisher is tour veteran and 12-time titleist Larry Laub. Qualifying 3rd and making his 4th championship round appearance in 1984 is Wayne Webb. In 2nd place with a week's average of .211 and making his first TV appearance is Mike Lettick. And the man they'll be shooting at, this week's leader from Washington, New Jersey, 33-year-old Gil Sliker. The $125,000 Kessler Open on the USA Network is brought to you by Mobil Super Unleaded Gasoline. Mobil Super Unleaded, it's really powerful. And by Levi's jeans, cords, and shirts. For quality and style you can count on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kessler Open. I'm Pete Liebengood for Alan Troutwick and for Mike Durbin, our broadcast analyst today, the man whose house we're in, Earl Anthony. Welcome to the show, and I must say to you, 18 of the 20 top money winners on the tour currently taking place in this tournament this week. That has to be, say something, the players have a respect for your name.
Well, I think more of a respect for the prize list, Pete, more than anything else. The $125,000 Kessler Open, the $18,000 first place, that's going to bring anybody here, I think. And we are very fortunate to have the best bowlers in the world here. It's been an outstanding event. We're very proud of the fact that they did support it so well.
The championship round of the 5 players, kind of a diverse line, if you will, in terms of their past records and their championship experience. The 2 top guys with only 1 win between them, and the bottom 3 guys with something like 38 titles to their credit. Should be interesting.
Should be interesting. We've got a lot of experience on the telecast. When we have a rookie up there, Mike Lettick. It's his first time on television. He's a freewheeler. He could do anything. He might shoot 250, he might shoot 150. It's going to be exciting.
Well, in the first position, Gil Sliker, certainly no rookie on the tour. He's been on a long time, over $400,000 in career earnings, and yet he has only 1 championship, and that was in doubles.
I don't understand that either, because he's got the experience, he's got the ability to be a winner. Mike Durbin is the same type of player. They both like to go directly at the pins, and Mike's been very successful. And yet you have Gil Sliker, who in a situation where he needs a good hit to win, something seems to go wrong. It's something in his makeup mentally, but I think he's got a good chance today, Pete.
Well, maybe that is certainly the case today, and maybe he'll turn it around today in terms of those titles. Now, do you remember your first TV appearance as a pro?
It's a long time back, but I remember.
You remember what you went through?
I remember what I went through. It was a very nerve-wracking experience.
That's Mike Lettick today.
I think so. And talking to him earlier, Pete, I think that he's got the kind of calm concentration. He might do better than people expect.
Well, he's certainly coming in here knowing that that's as good as I've ever done, so that's a step in the right direction.
That's right.
In the number 3 position, Wayne Webb, who started out the year with a bang and then went into a little bit of a slump and now seems to have it back.
Wayne Webb is the kind of player that's very explosive. I look for Wayne Webb to be a dominant player all through the 1980s. I think that's his goal, is to be named player of the decade for the 1980s, and I think he's got the ability, he's definitely got the strength, and he's got the know-how.
And one of your generation in the 4th spot, Larry Laub.
Well, Larry's even younger than I am, so, you know, I'm getting old, but Larry has been experienced for a long. He's got a lot of years on the tour. He's very experienced. He's in his hometown area. I think that's a plus for him, and Larry's ability in pressure situations, I think, could be the kind of situation today where he can get to the 4, get through in that clutch shot when he needs to, and maybe be a winner.
And Mike Durbin in the number 5 position in this championship round. He'll do anything to get out of work in television.
Well, Mike is, again, a very experienced player. As we mentioned earlier, we're very fortunate to have that kind of experience on the telecast today. Mike is the kind of guy that in a clutch situation always goes directly to the pins. He's very aggressive. He wants to win very badly, and I think he's got a good chance today, even though he's 5th.
How has the house this week that Earl Anthony built played for these pros?
Well, it's been difficult, Pete. In watching the guys in match play, I know they worked very hard this week. It's a shot maker's condition, the kind of condition where the guys that get out there and work very hard, keep their concentration, are very patient, can make good shots in the pressure situations. Those are the ones that have made the telecast. And I think that today we're going to see some really good shot making. We're going to see guys that make good adjustments under pressure and aren't afraid to make that adjustment when they really have to.
Let's talk about Earl Anthony just for a minute. You're coming up on, well, close to your anniversary in terms of retirement. How goes it with Earl Anthony, the non-bowler?
Oh, it's great. I don't miss it at all. It's kind of fun to watch these guys. Again, I know what they go through every week, Pete, and I'm glad I'm not out there competing with them. Their talent amazes me. I sit back and watch them. I watch them make shots that I don't think I could make, and it's kind of fun to watch them go out there and battle the lane conditions, crossing pairs across the house. And again, as I mentioned, the lane surface is difficult. And the reason it's difficult, it's a very flat surface. The oil moves around readily, so the players have to make those kind of adjustments. Again, under pressure, it's hard to do.
Well, we should point out that Earl Anthony has not gone into total retirement, because in May, you won the Masters Championship in Reno, Nevada. I wonder, after collecting the check and getting the trophy, any second thoughts whatsoever about possibly doing a little bit more of this?
No.
That's pretty definite.
No, never again. I might come back when I'm 50 years old. It's not that far away and bowl on our seniors tour. We do have a couple events for the guys that are over 50. I might bowl in a couple of those, but as far as competing against the kids on the tour again and doing all that traveling, I'm not interested, Pete.
One quick question in terms of your career and what you see now as a proprietor in Bowling One and certainly a bowling fan. What is the biggest change that has taken place during your years up to now in terms of the game and the players?
I think the biggest change is, excuse me, has been the change in the surface itself that the players play on, and then the bowling balls that the manufacturers have had to come up with for the players to combat that surface. The very hard surfaces they bowl on nowadays, the urethane surfaces, that have required a soft bowling ball to get friction on that surface. And that's just happened, excuse me, that's just happened in the last 10 years. And it all started back when they were soaking bowling balls in chemicals to get that reaction. The manufacturers came up with bowling balls to combat that hard surface, and it's made it so that the players almost have to be a computer to figure out what's going on. Some of them carry 30 bowling balls at a time out here. They'll go through 100 balls in a year, where we used to come out and maybe carry 2 bowling balls. Now it's 100.
Earl Anthony with 100 balls or no, we're glad to be in your home and glad to have you on the telecast. Glad to have you with us, and we'll get to our first match of the Kessler Open in just a moment.
What a bummer. Another engine we can't mess up.
How could Mobil do this to me?
Yeah, make their super unleaded gasoline that good.
It's really powerful.
High octane is so...
Knocking and pinging is becoming a lost art.
Yeah. I just hope nobody else finds out how good their gasoline is.
How could they find out? Mobil could make a television commercial. Nah.
Got me a hard-to-please woman, so I got me some 501 blues. Know what I mean? Got me a hard-to-please woman, so I got me some Levi's 501 blues. You know they're so much more than just button-fly jeans. They shrink to fit me so personally, and now my hard-to-please woman's having a hard time pleasing me. Thanks to my Levi's 501 jeans.
It begins as a dream, a quest for a moment of Olympic glory reserved for the very few. At Transamerica Insurance and Transamerica Occidental Life, we're supporting the dreams of every athlete by insuring the Olympic Games. Because our business is insuring people's dreams. Transamerica, insurance, finance, manufacturing, transportation, innovation. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
USA's sizzling summer of sports continues to bring you hot stuff.
Most and best of
Superstars explode into action on Tuesday Night Titan, wrestling TNT, bowling like again and again every Thursday with the PBA on USA. And Friday night boxing always makes a great impression. Plus, later this summer, the finest in tennis gather on USA for the ATP Championships and the prestigious US Open. It's a sizzling summer of sports here on USA. It's a great place to stay.
The PBA Spring Tour on the USA Network begins right here with the number 5 qualifier on your left. Mike Durbin, 42 years old, opposite Larry Laub of Tucson, Arizona, the tender age of 40. And right here between the two men, Earl Anthony, we have 37 years of professional experience.
2 outstanding players, Pete, both very experienced, either one capable of going all the way today.
25 titles between them. Mike Durbin in 17 years, 13 titles.
Tough start for Mike. He's like anybody else, even with a lot of experience, Pete. He's looking for that first shot to get some pressure on his opponent, and he pulled a little bit, trying to fit the ball, and that's what you get, the big split. Difficult shot. Cross lane, try to slide, 6-pin cross, no luck.
So the first frame for Mike Durbin is an open one, an inauspicious beginning for a man who has been averaging 209 pins on the week hit. Here's Larry Laub.
Both players are, as we mentioned, very experienced, Pete, but the thing that you can notice is that Mike is trying to play the extreme outside angle near the channel, go directly to the pins, whereas Larry Laub is playing around the third arrow and trying to circle the ball. It's a little more of a finesse shot. Mike's trying to overpower those.
And he just did get the spare in the first frame for Larry Laub. Larry, born and raised right near here in San Francisco, California, about 40 miles as the crow flies.
Right. Now, good high arm swing. Now, watch Larry sets the ball short. That's his style. He likes to get the ball into an early roll, but he has good speed and good projection out over the foul line with his follow-through. Both players are a little tentative right now. I think both respect the other's ability. And they're trying to just keep the ball in play, not get in trouble. Watch Larry, he'll set the ball very short, kind of like almost like he lost it off his hand, but that's his style. He just doesn't want to go through the nose. You watch Mike Durbin's shot, he's trying to be a little careful. Difficult spare.
And the second open frame of this, our first match between the number 5 qualifier, Mike Durbin, and the number 4 qualifier, Larry Laub.
Again, the back end of the lane is finishing a little bit stronger than it has all week. The players are a little tentative with their spare shots. Bad break for Larry, good break for Mike. He's back in the match.
Mike's 5th championship round appearance this year.
Much better shot.
And Mike Durbin liked that.
Mike Durbin does one thing exceptionally well, better than most players. He gets the ball out over the foul line, uses the strength of his legs to project the ball down the lane, delay the roll, keep the ball on line, and that's why you trip that 4-pin like that.
The president of the PBA with a 29-23 record in TV appearances, 33 of them.
A little more speed on that shot. That's what makes a winner right there. That's why Mike Durbin's so tough. First frame on this lane. First frame on this lane, he was a little tentative, a little short. This one, more extension, got the ball down the lane, solid in the pocket. Bad break for Larry. It was an excellent shot. The ball was a little bit behind the head pin. He left the 10-pin standing. Easy spare cross lane for Larry.
Larry has not won since the Kessler Open in 1979, so quite a dry spell. He lost to Pete Couture in the semifinals in this event last year.
With the spare, Larry will be -14 at this point through 3 frames. Now, Larry at this point is thinking, I can't let someone with this much experience get away, Pete. He's got to get something going. It's even though it seems early in the match, he's got to get something started.
A little heavy on that one. And that's tough work right there.
There was an adjustment, a typical adjustment by a professional bowler. What he's trying to do is, last time on that lane, he left the bucket, missed the spare. He wanted to make sure the ball finished. He set it a little bit shorter, a little less speed. The ball cut through the heart of the pins. Very difficult spare. Must slide the 4-pin into the 9-pin to take out the 10.
Got only half on the conversion. Larry Laub, 36th on the money list this year with $24,000. Mike Durbin sitting pretty in 3rd spot with $77,640. Over $626,000 career.
Look at the concentration on his face here, Pete. Moves the thumb around, trying to get the right feel on the ball before he starts. And again, watch the good extension, forcing the ball down the lane. Can't do it much better than that. Really can't.
A 3-bagger for Mike Durbin.
Ball well over the foul line. Delay the roll. The long follow through. Good end-over-end roll. Solid in the pocket. 10 pins in the pit. That's as good as you can do it right there.
What a mark of consistency he has been this year. In 17 events, he is cashed in 13. Plus 40 right now from Mike Durbin. Got him.
Good break for Mike Durbin. Little light. That's the lane they're having the trouble with, Pete. The left lane is hooking a little more than the right lane, so they're both trying to keep the ball in play on the left lane.
All right, we are halfway through our first match of the evening. Mike Durbin and Larry Laub. We'll continue on USA with the Spring Tour PBA right after this.
What she got and got a lot of, lots of hair from Prell. Lots of fullness, lots of thickness, lots of hair from Prell. Goodbye limp, goodbye flat, got lots of this and lots of that. Got lots of hair from Prell.
A little Prell leaves you looking like you got lots of rich, lots of thick, lots of full.
Thanks a lot, sir. Get the hair that's got a lot of, get lots of hair from Prel.
To work the way your hand works, the ideal measuring tape would be shaped the way your hand is shaped, with its control button where your thumb is, shaped the way your thumb is shaped. And because working hands perspire, your tape would have a slip-resistant tread. Introducing the Lubkin XL from Cooper Tools, the difference between work and workmanship.
Hi, I'm Stan, owner of Stan's Men's Shop. At Stan's, we're offering this suit here for $59 with a shirt and tie. Now, that's right, this shirt and tie and this suit for $59. Now, at Stan's, we have our own charge accounts. If you're new in town, been bankrupt, had a repossession, had a divorce, slow in paying your bills, or just turned down by others, we'll give you a chance to start your credit over again. I'll guarantee it. We're located on the corner of 4th and Fremont.
We've got style and personality, all the stars you want to see. We're everything you want us to be. For the movies, sit back in your easy chair. There's fun for everyone to share. You can't have a better time anywhere. For the movies, and the good times roll. For goodness sake, it's the best break you can take on CBS. And the good times roll, let it all begin. For entertainment plus, stay with us. We're CBN.
You're looking at Ernie Schleicher, who is the alternate or sixth-place qualifier here in this event.
Shows again how much experience was in the field, Pete. Ernie is one of the most experienced players on the tour and one of the toughest in the clutch and one of the best shot makers. Didn't quite make the telecast, but it shows that he was close.
Larry Laub, best finish in 1984, fourth in the U.S. Open. He needed that.
He needed it very badly. When you're minus 50, you've got to do something, and Larry did make an excellent shot. His best shot of the match. A little more speed, a little more extension, got the ball down the lane before it went into a roll. He's got to do that on the left lane. Lane 33, again, is the lane that hooks the most difficult to keep the ball in play.
Larry Laub, 46 and 40 in TV competitions.
A little more speed, and a bad break. Just when he needed it the most, the 10-pin stood up. He really had to have that strike to stay in the match. Larry upped the speed. You can see his effort at the foul line, using the strength of his leg to get the ball down the lane. And there it goes, right around the neck of the 10-pin. Should be an easy spare for Larry, but he doesn't need spares. He needs strikes very desperately.
Well, he has his spare. Just happen to think you should well remember Larry Laub's last victory.
You're going to remind me of something I don't want to hear, right?
He beat you.
Thanks a lot. You didn't have to say that, Pete.
But there were 41 times when nobody beat Earl Anthony.
That's history. Past history.
Mike Durbin at plus 50.
In position to put the match away. Good break for Mike Durbin right there. Again, the aggressive play of Mike Durbin. The aggressive play of Mike Durbin gets the ball down the lane, keeps the ball rolling forward. Very important to have the ball rolling end over end in this type of a shot. It's a shot maker's condition. He keeps the ball in play that way. He can trip that 4-pin. The same type of shot with the ball turning or rotating sideways would have left the 4-pin. Good concentration by Mike. He's one of the best on the tour at maintaining that patience and concentration.
Got him again.
Got him again. And you notice, Pete, the same shot as the shot he struck on 33 last time. He kept the ball light in the pocket, knowing that that's what's going to strike for him from that angle, that outside angle. And that lane hooks the most. He gave it a little more speed, a little more room. Little short, Larry right there. Again, that's his style. You hear the ball bounce, that's just Larry Laub's style. He always sets the ball down at the foul line, but he extends through the shot to keep it on line.
Now, that's the only way you can combat a 6-strike roll for Mike Durbin, is to get a couple of your own.
When you're down 70 pins, you need more than a couple, Pete.
Substantial. Can't get a break on the 10-pin.
And I think it's the angle more than anything, Pete. Just watching Larry go to the foul line, it seems like he's trying to fit the ball a little more than Mike is. Mike's a little more freewheeling at this point. And obviously with that kind of a lead you can be. But Larry's playing the inside angle. The ball isn't continuing through the pins. It's deflecting when it hits the pocket. Mike's playing the outside angle more directly to the pin. And that's kind of a give-up shot. He knows he's in trouble, and I think Larry's decided that maybe next Saturday might be his turn to win.
So an open frame here for Larry Laub, and it's getting away from him. Mike Durbin, 209 average this week, 212 on the tour this year at his fourth best. Mike Durbin not letting up whatsoever.
Again, the experience coming through. Mike struggled a little bit in his practice before the match started, but once it starts, the concentration, the ability to make shots under pressure, that's what makes Mike Durbin a champion.
Larry Laub can do nothing about the situation here, and certainly not a happy man at the moment.
Not happy, but he's still going to make a nice check.
Mike Durbin with the expression like, well, I can't do anything else.
Mike Durbin's ability comes through always when he needs it the most. And a shot like that, the way the ball finished very strongly, Mike knew and knows that going into the next match, whoever he's bowling's in trouble.
I was going to say, these strikes are for Wayne Webb.
And you can believe that Wayne Webb is watching and wondering, what am I going to have to do to beat this guy?
At least 3 times Larry Laub has left the 10 pin. Exactly what you were talking about.
It's the angle the ball is entering the pins. Larry knows it. And the trouble is, again, the lane surface is very flat. By flat, I mean there's no help for the players. It's a difficult condition. They have to make extremely good shots to strike. And the edge is to the player that can go end over end roll and up at the pins. Larry's trying to play too deep an angle, but with his type of release, he cannot get out and play the angle that Mike Durbin's playing. There's a picture of a relaxed player, knows that the match is in the bag, and he's just thinking, Wayne Webb, get over here, I'm ready for you.
A dichotomy, hot yet cool. Just nothing going right.
Nothing's going right, and there's a little embarrassment, a little grin, a little talk to Ernie Schlegel about, boy, it's one of those days. Ernie, you want to bowl for me? You're the alternate. Get in here and take my place.
So being the hometown boy has certainly not worked to Larry Laub's advantage here.
He might give us all a little thrill and slide that 5 pin into the 7 pin. He's a shot maker. He's going to give it a good try. Send it out a little bit. It's coming back. There
yes.
It is. That shows just how tough these guys are.
Larry Laub finishing with a little magic of his own here.
Gave the ball a little more room, a little more side turn. See the ball rotating back into the 5, directly into the 7. You can't do any better than that, Pete. It's perfect. He'll leave the lanes with a smile on his face, knowing that he's got a good check. It's been a good week for him.
and for my next act.
Right. And a little slap on the hand for Mike Durbin. Mike Durbin can strike out for 279. That would make me nervous if I was Wayne Webb.
8 strikes in a row.
There it is. Wait a minute.
Oh, he got a slide, and he got the 10 pin.
And he's thinking, why can't I save a few of these and use them to start the next match? That's what he'd like to do.
There's no carryover in this game, is there?
No, it's all over after this match, and he starts even with Wayne Webb. But Mike will work very hard in these shots. He's not just going to go out and throw the ball. And the reason for that, Pete, is he wants to make sure that when he does come against Wayne Webb, another very tough player, that he kept his mental alertness. He's very sharp.
And they continue to fall for Mike Durbin. And once again, he gives it that, I can't stop it, look.
Well, it's that nonchalance that he's doing right now. And he's going to try to keep it going. He wants Wayne Webb to come over here thinking, boy, I'm going to have to shoot something to beat this guy. And that's a little pressure. Adds a little pressure to the match.
And there you go. We're looking at the most strikes ever tossed in a USA PBA telecast. Mike Durbin, who normally occupies the seat that Earl Anthony is holding this afternoon. The crowd really appreciative of a fine effort here at 279 total to 153. Mike Durbin will advance, defeating Larry Laub in our opening match here in our championship play in the $125,000 Kessler Open. We got a lot more bowling excitement for you, so don't you go away.
Jimmy Martin, inventor of the world-famous Martin Lane reader, wants you to become a better bowler today.
Every serious bowler I know needs the 9 bowling accessories contained in my toolkit.
That's right. Each kit has everything you'll need to improve your bowling skills. There's a stay-dry bag for sweaty hands and a Pro Grip rosin bag that's used by professionals in all sports. The Jimmy Martin Toolkit also comes complete with ball tape, a cat claw grip strip, and folding scissors so you can adjust your ball whenever necessary. Have you ever done this? With a brass brush and Jimmy Martin's X-Wax, you'll never be at the mercy of approach conditions again. Order your toolkit today and get all these fine products, plus Robbie Skin Protector, a ball tool, complete instructions, and a heavy-duty clear vinyl toolkit bag, all for only $19.95. Call 1-800-USA-1000 or save COD charges and send $19.95 to Toolkit, P.O. Box 49648, Atlanta, Georgia.
Seeing clearly. It's always been important. In TV, seeing clearly is everything. Nothing should ever stand between you and your television. And with Dimension, nothing will. Dimension Cable Services gives you better reception.
Hi, I'm Stan, owner of Stan's Men's Shop. At Stan's, we're offering this suit here for $59 with a shirt and tie. That's right, this shirt and tie and this suit for $59. Now at Stan's, we have our own charge accounts. If you're new in town, been bankrupt, had a repossession, had a divorce, slow in paying your bills, or just turned down by others, we'll give you a chance to start your credit over again. I'll guarantee it. We're located on the corner of 4th and Fremont.
Mike Durbin has now earned the right to meet the third-place qualifier, Wayne Webb of Carmel, Indiana. Webb, 26 years old, 5'5", 145 pounds of pure strength out there on the lanes.
Very strong player, Pete. He's got that kind of release that overpowers the lanes and the pins. I think they're not going to get any easier for Mike Durbin this match. He had a tough one in Larry Laub, even though it didn't look that way score-wise. But Wayne Webb is, I think, even a little tougher.
Wayne Webb certainly has to consider that 279 pins on the part of Mike Durbin in this opening match here. And I was handed a note by Bud Fisher of the PBA that he says he thinks, without going into the record book, that that is the biggest margin, 126 pins, since Art Trask beat Earl Anthony at Fairlanes.
Why do we have to bring this stuff up, Pete?
All right, as you look at Wayne Webb, we're going to get a chance to meet him now and talk about his marvelous consistency in championship play. Wayne, you have a marvelous record, 33-24 in championship play. That would lead one to believe that you like the pressure.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes I bowl a lot better under pressure. It makes me think a little harder.
Well, you're in a position now to kind of get it back. You started off with a bang. You won your first tournament of the year in the Winter Tour, and then you were in the championship round in 2 successive tournaments after that. And then you went into a dry spell, and you seem to have gotten it back here. Any reason for what I guess you called a slump?
Yeah, well, I got sick after the 3rd show, and it seemed like because of being a little weaker, I did go into a slump, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And then 2 weeks ago, I started bowling good again, and now I've got my game back together.
You made reference to loosening your swing. Exactly what did you mean by that?
I started muscling the shot way too much, and it was causing a real bad overreaction on the lane. I couldn't hit my spot as well, and now I've loosened my swing up where everything's free, and even when I do make a mistake, my arm comes through a lot quicker, so it doesn't show up as much on the lanes.
How about the condition of these lanes as respect to your game?
I don't know, it's kind of hard, you know. They must be pretty good. I'm here, you know.
Simple enough, well enough said. I want to ask you too something about, of course, Earl Anthony, our host here, going into the proprietorship business, and you do that as well in Indianapolis. How do you keep from overworking yourself in terms of the stresses of trying to handle a business and a tour as well?
Well, I've got a good manager to hold up the show back home, and I'm out here working, you know, at the bowling, and I just try to think about this and keep that separate from out here.
Nice to have that big building to know that you're going to fall back on.
Oh yeah, that's real nice.
And there you see on the left is the young bride of Wayne Webb. That is Becky Webb right there, getting her, well, I guess really her first taste of championship game pressure.
She looks
like
nice
she's holding
and
up
cool.
fine.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Two competitors shake hands, and it appears that it'll be Mike Durbin bowling first here with a 126-pin victory over Larry Laub in our opener here.
Starting all over now against Wayne Webb, another really outstanding player.
No one's more glad that he's starting over than Wayne Webb.
Really the first bad break for Mike Durbin since he started bowling. And there's really, if you watch the ball enter the pins, this particular shot, the ball breaks a little sooner and sets up a little later, right around the neck of the 10-pin again. Still an excellent shot. Easy spare for someone like Mike Durbin.
Well, he certainly made it look easy there in his first frame here in our second match. Numbers 5 versus number 3.
Wayne Webb will be playing an angle extremely different from the line that you watch Mike Durbin play. Mike Durbin very near the channel on the right-hand side, Wayne Webb very near the center of the lane.
Wayne with a 210 average here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl.
Wayne Webb, being one of the shortest players on the tour, holds the ball down low, get that good fluid arm swing, a lot of projection on the lane. As you can see, his leg is stiff. That helps him get leverage into the shot, get the ball down the lane, and all that side turn you see that ball getting, that's because of that strength in his wrist. He's very compact and strong.
It seems to me, Earl, you'd have to be strong to hold the ball the way he does, almost straight armed all the way through.
What it gives him a freer swing, Pete, it gives him a freer swing, a little more ball speed, especially when you're that short and short arms. He can still get the ball down the lane quite well because of that free swing that he starts near his knee. The grip, the very strong wrist, the forearms, good extension, a lot of side turn, very powerful bowling ball.
That 10-pin has been
that's been the nemesis of all the players. The problem is, on that angle that he's playing, the ball goes down the lane. If he doesn't control the break point really well, it comes in behind the head pin, and that's what leaves the solid 10-pin.
And he picks it up. A win today for Wayne Webb would make him only the third bowler this year to have won twice.
There are several players here that are in competition for Bowler of the Year this week. Mike Durbin being one of them. A win here today would put him in the 4. He would be one of the leaders, along with Mark Roth and, of course, Gary Skidmore, who won just last week.
Quickly back in the groove is Mike Durbin.
And again, it's the angle the players are playing. The advantage on carry goes to Mike Durbin because he's coming more directly to the pins. The ball is not arcing behind the head pin. The break is more direct. So the ball enters the pins at the perfect angle to strike. If Mike can keep the ball in play, his only shortcoming might be if he should not keep his speed firm. If Mike keeps his speed up, he's going to be very difficult to beat today, Pete.
Durbin working off a strike.
There's what he's got to be careful of. See the ball go a little early that time, and the reason for that is Mike didn't get the ball quite as far down the lane. He got it as he releases the ball, it goes up in the air more. Instead of projecting down the lane, it was lofted, and the ball broke early. He was really quite fortunate. It looked like a good hit, but it could have quite easily been a 4-9.
You could see that quite clearly, as opposed to that shot right there.
Well, at this point, we got an even match, Pete, and it's anybody's game. I think it's going to be a matter of carrying the 10-pin. Now, if Wayne Webb can find a way to get his speed just right, which I think it's much more critical for him than it will be for Mike Durbin, again, because of the different angles they're playing, Wayne Webb, his speed control has to be perfect to strike. He's going to leave a lot of 10-pins if he isn't perfect. If he tries to make an adjustment, he could get in trouble with the ball breaking early and maybe the big split. So let's hope we have a good match.
That 10-pin just defiant here this evening.
It's a difficult center to strike on anyway with the 10 pins that stand here, even when the PBA isn't here. Now with the type of lane surface they're playing on, the ball is always late. See the ball go in behind the head pin. Didn't quite get the break he needed off the wall to kick the 10 out.
Picked it up nicely. Wayne Webb, like Earl Anthony, a bowling proprietor.
Yeah, that's a mistake he made right there. Getting into the bowling business. It's a difficult business, but it's a lot of fun, Pete. Right now, it's still only 1 pin apart. Wayne Webb is behind by 1 pin at this point. Early in the match, both players making good shots. The difference there between that shot and the shot on 34, as the ball goes into the pins, it's late, but it's not solid in the pocket. Watch as the ball enters the pins. Pete, see the ball going into the pins. It's a little bit lighter in the pocket. The 5 goes across, and for that reason, he carried the 10 pin. If he had hit solid, he would have left the 10 pin again. If he can keep the ball light, he'll strike. That's a bad break. That's a bad break no matter how you look at it. Even Wayne Webb knows that's a bad break.
The crowd here is certainly telling you the story on that one.
He'll go for 1. Just take the 1 pin. Throw it at a lot of speed. Hope it bounces. Didn't do it.
A potentially damaging open frame for Mike Durbin.
Early in the match yet, but still a critical shot at this point. There's a 12-pin margin now, and guess who's ahead? Wayne Webb. That kind of surprises me a little bit because of the angle that Mike is playing. He has the best carry angle. The reason he didn't strike in that shot, I feel, is the ball was a little bit weak as far as his roll was concerned. It didn't finish strongly into the pins. Mike will make an adjustment on the next shot on 34, which is a tighter lane. And that's not unusual, Pete. When a player gets a bad break, he's thinking about it on the approach. Mike kind of lost this shot off his hand. Watch as he releases the ball. It didn't get it quite out in the lane and get the lift that he wanted. The ball didn't quite finish into the pocket. Difficult spare for Mike here. He's going to try to make the head pin go across into the 10 pin, let the ball take out the 2 and the 4.
He knew as soon as he let that last one go that it wasn't a good one.
That's right. The ball's hooking early. That's what makes the shot difficult in this center. The ball hooks a little early in the center of the lane. On the outside, there's a little more oil. It's a little more difficult to control the ball when you're going cross lane.
Without a mark in the last 2 frames, Mike Durbin finds himself in trouble here after a scintillating first match victory over Larry Laub. We'll continue with the action here from Dublin, California, the $125,000 Kessler Open in a moment.
Mixing cement, it's a dusty job. So Fram makes this terrific air filter to protect my Alice's engine. It's not just 1 filter, but 2. Now Fram makes a double air filter for cars. Not just 1 filter, but 2. The Fram Extra Life lasts 50% longer than the old Fram filter, but it doesn't cost any more. So why not put a Fram Extra Life in your car? Why put in 1 filter when you can put in 2?
Got me a hard-to-please woman, so I got me some 501 blues. Know what I mean? Got me a hard-to-please woman, so I got me some Levi's 501 blues. You know they're so much more than just button-fly jeans. They shrink to fit me so personally, and now my hard-to-please woman's having a hard time pleasing me. Thanks to my Levi's 501 jeans.
In 1984, people will leave their homelands to attend the largest peacetime event in the world. 10,000 athletes from almost every country on Earth, and Transamerica Insurance and Transamerica Occidental Life will support the dreams of every athlete by insuring the Olympic Games. Because our business is insuring people's dreams. Transamerica. Insurance, finance, manufacturing, transportation, innovation. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
The USA Movie. It's action.
That's just to let you know we're not talking through our hats.
Adventure.
You can say that again.
Comedy.
I'm gonna do a good job too, Captain. You just watch and see.
Romance. The USA Movie at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Thank you, partner. Well done indeed.
It'll make your day.
Webb feeling a little bit comfortable, or more comfortable, I guess you could say at this point. I'm sure she's been around bowling enough to know that it is not over until it's over, to borrow an expression.
That's true. Well, with Wayne Webb, though, with 24-pin lead and a chance to extend that lead with a strike here in the 5th frame, Mike Durbin is definitely in the hot seat right now.
Wayne Webb carrying a 209.9 pin average into this match on the year.
Good speed on that shot. Again, a carbon copy of the strike he got in the 4th frame on lane 33. The ball is down the lane longer, more speed on the ball. As the ball enters the pins, he gets the 5 to go out. The expression on his face, he knows it's a good shot. He says, give me that 10 pin, and he got it.
Well, Earl, he is really getting a turn on that ball.
Strength, a lot of leg strength, helps him project the ball down the lane, get all that wrist action.
Only 145 pounds, but very compact at 5'5".
The difference again. He hit light on 33 and struck. He hit light on 34 and struck. 33 comes back. A better shot as far as the ball entering the pocket, but because it's late, getting behind the head pin, goes right around the neck again. The 6 pin goes right around the 10 pin. It's a bad break for Wayne, good break for Mike Durbin. We have 2 of the best spare shooters on the tour bowling this match, so I don't think it'll come down to someone missing a spare more so than it would come down to who carries the corner pins at this point. Mike Durbin will come back in this match. I have a lot of confidence in his ability. 33 pins behind at this point. And there's a starter, Pete.
Perhaps a sign of the new things to come for Mike Durbin.
A lot of experience. Doesn't get upset. All right, at this point, again, Mike Durbin at 33 pins behind has a chance to get 10 of them back, Pete, if he can strike here and get that double.
From Chagrin Falls, Ohio, president of the PBA, Mike Durbin.
Mike got a re-rack. He didn't quite like the pins. Wayne Webb's checking the score to make sure that things are going the way he thinks they are. Good right now for Wayne Webb.
Each player is allowed 3 re-racks, so in effect Durbin has his first.
Pivotal shot right here. He must have it. And he got it.
Responding to the pressure, Mike Durbin. Back-to-back strikes.
Much better balance, better extension, gets the ball down the lane with the end-over-end roll. That's a lot of pin action off the wall, and that's because the ball is rolling forward from an extreme outside angle. That's the kind of hit he wants. More speed by Wayne Webb. A little more speed there. He knows he has to keep the ball more direct to the pocket. And that's what he's looking for. He wants the ball to go longer on a line. He doesn't want it to hook a lot. You see the more speed, the ball sets up in the pocket, he kicks the 4-pin out, and that's the kind of break you need when you're bowling Mike Durbin, Pete.
Wayne Webb, $518,259 career earnings, 9 years in the tour, only 26 years old.
He'll be around a long time. He's got a lot of talent. More speed again.
A little heavy on that one.
Going with more speed and a more direct angle. The problem being when you do that, I think, Pete, is that the ball has a tendency to jump on you. It grips the lane a little early, and he knew he was getting a break there, that he didn't get the split. Look at the look on his face. He says, please fall down. Thank you. That's a break. He gets an easy spare, and he covers it.
Should say what looks perhaps to the folks at home like an easy spare.
Well, for the caliber player that Mike Durbin and Wayne Webb are, their abilities, they're not going to miss very many spares.
23 pins down now, Mike Durbin. A member of the PBA Hall of Fame right here.
Right. Very durable player, Mike Durbin. Bowls most every week. Very key shot for Mike there, Pete. He really wanted that one badly. He knows he needs it right now. At this point, at 23 pins behind on a double, that would have got him within 13 pins, or maybe within 12, and it would have been a much more exciting match as far as Mike's concerned going into the pivotal 9th frame. Covers the spare.
And here's a look at the way it is right now.
The difference of 24 pins at this point, 2 frames to play. Still a lot of pins out there. The match is far from over. Mike getting another re-rack. He wants to make sure the pins are on spot. He doesn't want to be penalized by a mistake by a machine. If he's not going to get it, it's going to be because Mike didn't throw the ball properly. That's all he's worried about. He wants to make a good shot. He's going to do it again, one more time.
So in effect, that would be his allotment.
Right now, Mr. Golden, our tournament director for the PBA, is going to check it out. And he has declined to give Mike Durbin a re-rack, and that is unusual and maybe unfortunate for Mike Durbin at this point. The re-rack rule for the PBA is that you are allowed 2, and the third one, the tournament director comes over, checks the rack. If he agrees that they're off spot, he'll give it to you. If he doesn't, to keep play moving, he'll turn it down, and you must bowl on the pins as they stand. Let's see if it affects Mike's shot. I think Mike knows he made a good shot and felt he should have gotten a strike, and that could be a big difference in the outcome of the match. And you can see by Mike's reaction that he's disgusted. He knows he released the ball properly. He's pulling for the strike, and he's looking around saying, why didn't I get that re-rack that I needed?
All going down earlier. Where are they now?
Right.
Mike still with a little disbelief in his appearance.
I think Mike felt that he couldn't have thrown the ball any better, and it was just one of those things. It's what they call the only true tap in bowling when you leave that solid 8 by a right-hander. And it just, at this point in the match, it could be the match.
Now Becky Webb beginning to feel the tenseness of this match. Perhaps not so much anymore after that one by husband Mike, or rather Wayne, excuse me.
You just got him at 2-4. Okay, an aggressive player, Wayne Webb. Now watch him extend through the shot, lots of speed, lots of rotation on the ball, delay the roll, solid in the pocket. You can't do it better than that. And look at his reaction. That's a clincher. That's what Wayne is thinking. That clinches the match for me.
6 pins to win. More than enough.
You know, Pete, it's amazing. Mike Durbin threw 11 in a row to finish his first match against Larry Laub. Destroyed him. Gets 3 strikes the whole game at this point in 9 frames.
That's bowling, as they say.
And there's Mike saying, where'd it go? I wonder where I left it at. I had it for 1 game. I can't find it. That's what happens when the best bowlers in the world get together and they bowl a 1-game match against each other. Anybody can win at any given time.
Wayne Webb going for the hat trick here in the 10th frame.
Well, he's 45 pins ahead at this point, Pete. There's Mike will go up and just finish the match, but he'll finish like a champion, like he is. He'll give it his best shot.
So Wayne Webb will advance. Mike Durbin will play it out here. Class individual.
Another solid 10 for Mike, and Mike is just saying, why did I carry all those before and not now? Wayne Webb having a little hand problem right now. He's preparing his thumb for the next match. It was all patched up before he started practice today for the telecast. Now the patches come on. He's trying to get it repaired before the next match against Mike Lettick, the only left-hander on the telecast today. Should be exciting.
You wouldn't be prone to favor left-hander.
Not me. Come on now, Pete.
226 for Wayne Webb, 179 for Mike Durbin. And so it is Wayne Webb who advances and will take on Mike Lettick, who will be appearing on television for the first time. Something to keep in mind. I'm sure Mike has it in the back of his mind, and we'll get to that match when we return.
The worst stock market crash in history rocked the nation yesterday as stock prices collapsed.
On October 24th, 1929, the news that shocked the world didn't surprise everyone. 2 months earlier, BusinessWeek readers were warned about stock prices that seemed unsteady. BusinessWeek was then only a few weeks old. Today, the look of the magazine has changed, but not its significance. It was BusinessWeek that told its readers about the takeover epidemic in the steel industry. And before the computer war broke out, BusinessWeek readers not only knew it was coming, but who would come out on top. Week after week after week, BusinessWeek tells you exactly what's going on in business and how it could affect your business. It's all right here, in the most concise, accessible form possible. But this publication does more than report the news. BusinessWeek interprets, even anticipates, and that's important. Because in business, nobody likes to be taken by surprise.
BusinessWeek magazine revealed this week.
Subscribe to BusinessWeek right now, and you'll get 32 weekly issues at the low basic rate of only $24.95. That's just 78 cents an issue, a savings of more than 60% off the cover price. And along with your paid subscription, BusinessWeek will send you one more valuable business tool, the BusinessWeek Solar Calculator, free. This desktop calculator is powered by any light source, requires no batteries, and it's free with your paid subscription to BusinessWeek. Subscribe to BusinessWeek. You'll get 32 weekly issues for only $24.95. And remember, the BusinessWeek Solar Calculator is free with your paid subscription. This is one business opportunity you ought to take advantage of. Order now.
To get BusinessWeek and your BusinessWeek Solar Calculator, call toll-free 1-800-USA-1000. 32 issues are just $24.95. This low basic rate saves you more than $39 off the cover price. Your calculator is free with your paid subscription. Call 1-800-USA-1000. That number again is 1-800-USA-1000.
$5,000 Kessler Open. We're here in Dublin, California at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. I'm Pete Liebengood along with Earl Anthony. And Earl, 24 players had a shot at this championship round of 5. A lot of old friends in that list.
There are, really. And right on top, Ernie Schlegel, who stayed at my house this week, as a matter of fact, and he earned $4,050 as the alternate. Tom Baker, a really outstanding player from Buffalo, New York, finished 7th. Don Janello, who has been a classic player the last few years, finished 8th. Marshall Holman, the always tough, hard to beat player from Jacksonville, Oregon, for $3,000 in 9th place. Tom Robards, the qualifying leader, finished 10th. Norm Duke, really fine young player from Mount Pleasant, Texas, finished 11th. Mike Bouvier from Portland, Oregon, a rookie on the tour, did quite well. Butch Soper finished 13th. Jim Miller, a touring player for a number of years, finished 14th. Jimmy Pritz Jr., who has won a couple of tournaments in the last year and a half, and he's doing quite well on the tour as a touring player now, finished 15th. Alvin Liu, a local player from El Cajon, California, finished 16th. Steve Martin from Great Falls, Montana, finished 17th. Walter Ray Williams, who is a many-time national horseshoe pitching champion, still showing he has a lot of talent as a bowler, finished 18th. Phil Rigginer from Big Spring, Texas, finished 19th. Rusty Griner, another rookie, finished 20th. One of the 2 left-handers that made the top 24. And Palmer Fahlgren, another local player, finished 21st. Dale Eagle, now out of Chicago, Illinois, finished 22nd. Bob Chamberlain, the PBA national champion this year, finished 23rd. And Lynn Ostermule, all the way from Anchorage, Alaska, finished 24th.
Earl, this is a $125,000 event, and the prize money breakdown for first place, the winner gets $18,000. Second place is worth $9,500. Third, $7,000. fourth, $5,500, and the fifth place finisher picks up a check worth $4,500. Taking a look at the leaders by round, you have that, Earl.
Yes, the first round leader was Wayne Webb, who has made the telecast today, and he's always a threat to win. The second round leader, as I mentioned earlier, Tom Robards, and he continued to lead through the qualifying. The fourth round leader, the left-hander, came to the fore, Mike Lettick, his first telecast today. He led through the fifth round and all the way until the last two games of match play last night. Gil Sliker took over, and he's our leader going onto the telecast today.
Well, as we've indicated, 17-year veteran Mike Durbin normally ties down the analyst spot here on our USA telecast, but Mike had to do some real legitimate work today, get out there and bowl some games, as it were. But before the action started today, we had a chance to talk with Mike about what turned out to be his finest hour. It happened this year. Mike, it's no secret what the highlight of your year has been, the Tournament of Champions, the Firestone Tournament of Champions for the third time. No one in the history of the game has ever done that. Must have been gratifying for you.
Well, it certainly was, Pete. I found that since I've won that tournament for a third time, that it's kind of put me in a unique position in bowling. Even the great Earl Anthony or Dick Weber or Don Carter never accomplished that feat. Right now I'm the only player that's been able to do it, and so it is very gratifying, and I'm very pleased to be in that position.
17 years on the tour, and then a third victory like that one of a major event. Does that kind of rekindle your interest in keeping going?
Well, it does a little bit, yes. It rekindles my interest in keeping going. It makes me see that, you know, I can still beat a lot of these young players out here and still do well. I've accomplished most of my goals in my 17. This is my 18th year on tour. And so I am thinking about winding down and when my career is going to wind up in the next few years. But as long as I can keep making the money that I'm making, I guess I'll keep going.
Is it difficult as you go on to motivate yourself to do the necessary things if it means extra work, extra practice?
Yes, it is, Pete. It gets more difficult each succeeding year. I find I'm a domestic person anyway. I like to be home and I like to be around my family. My two younger children now are getting to the age where they're all into basketball, baseball, and so you wind up being a family spectator, and I'm missing a lot of that, and I really don't want to. So I'm trying to find a way to cut back on the bowling and do more of that.
Well, a remarkable career. What goals did you have when you first came on, and have you far surpassed them?
Well, when I first came on, I simply wanted to cash in an event. I wanted to make the finals or the match play portion of the tournament. I wanted to make a television show, and I wanted to win. And then once you win, you want to win again. And so halfway through my career or so, I established a goal that I wanted to win 10 titles, and I've surpassed that. I wanted to win Firestone for a second time. I surpassed that. I wanted to get into the PBA Hall of Fame, and I've achieved that. About the only thing that I haven't done is win Bowler of the Year, and that's my goal for this year. So that's the only goal that I haven't achieved, and I've set that one for this year.
What one characteristic of your game has been responsible for your success?
Probably my versatility. I've been able to adapt my game to the varying conditions. I've been able to change my hand positions and even change steps at different times to be able to adapt to conditions over the last 18 years.
Mike Durbin currently in the number 3 spot in the PBA money list this year. It's headed by Mark Roth with $82,290, then Ricky Sajek, and then Durbin, who has a chance to move into the number 1 spot today with a win here. Gary Skidmore in 4th, George Pappas in 5th. Gil Sliker with also a shot at moving way up on the money list, is currently in 6th position. Mark Baker 7th, Ted Hanna's 8th. Wayne Webb also an opportunity to move up the scale in 9th place, and Bob Chamberlain in 10th with $54,800.
Going into the averages, Pete, the leader this year at this point is Marshall Holman from Jacksonville, Oregon, averaging at 213. Second is Pete Weber. Bob Hanley is 3rd. Mike Durbin is 4th. Mark Roth is 5th. Mike Albee is 6th. Ricky Sajek is 7th. Joe Berardi is 8th. Gary Skidmore is 9th. And low veteran Jim Stefanich is in 10th place.
And a reminder, much more coming your way on USA from the PBA. July 26th, we'll be in Austin, Texas for the Aqua Fest Mr. Gaddy's Open. August 2nd to Houston for the Houston Open. August 9th in Waukegan, Illinois. August 16th, it's the Buffalo Open. August 23rd, it's the Molson Golden Bowling Challenge in Windsor, Ontario. Then in September, at Canton, Ohio, it's the Hammer PBA Seniors Championship. We've got a lot more bowling action for you here from Dublin, California. Game 3 in a moment.
Chrysler breaks another record. That story and more next.
The Wall Street Journal Late News with William Bruce, brought to you by Ford Motor Company. You're going to love the quality. At Ford, quality is job one.
Good evening, everyone. Chrysler rang up a second quarter profit that was a company record for any quarter. That's not bad for a firm that was broke a couple of years ago. And it looks as if Mickey Mouse is safe for now. Irwin Jacobs has bought about 6% of Walt Disney Productions, but he says he won't attempt a hostile takeover. And U.S. companies are determined to keep up with changing technological times. According to the latest figures, U.S. firms are spending more on research and development than Japanese companies. Now this message.
You're gonna love the quality, 'cause that's what goes into a car whenever we build one. You're gonna love the quality, you'll love the quality built by Ford. From the folks in engineering to the people in design, from the factory to the showroom to the people on the line, we say you're gonna love the quality Ford. Quality is job one.
The next big battle between Uncle Sam and the auto industry could be over the gas fumes that escape when people fill their tanks. The government says the fumes pose health dangers, and it wants automakers to install devices to trap them. And don't worry if your ties are too skinny or wide, because designers say this fall anything goes. Manufacturers are coming out with ties from a scant 1.5 inches wide to more than double that size. On Wall Street, stock prices fell in moderate trading today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost almost 9 points on volume of 85.25 million shares. For the Wall Street Journal, I'm William Bruce. Thanks for joining us, and good night.
The championship play welcomes Mike Lettick for the first time in his career on your right, and Wayne Webb coming off a victory over Mike Durbin in this, the third match of our 4-match championships here in Dublin, California. Pete Liebengood along with Earl Anthony. And there you look at Mike Lettick, 27 years old, from Woodbridge, Connecticut. Wonder how he's feeling right now.
You know, I talked to him earlier, Pete, and he was very relaxed, much more so than I expected. And I expect him to do well. I really do. I think he's going to do quite well. He's the only left-hander on the telecast. He's bowled well all week, especially under a lot of pressure. And I'm really surprised. I'm very, very proud of the fact that a young guy like this can come out here and do quite as well as he's done.
Certainly a powerful young man, 6 feet, 225 pounds. And last night, after he made the qualifying position of number 2, he didn't really know how he was going to react. And before play today, I talked to him about that very subject. Mike, this is a first in your young career, and last night, after all was said and done, I think you were wondering just how you were going to respond. Are you still wondering?
Not really wondering. I've thought it over through the night and didn't get too much sleep, but I feel good now. I was apprehensive, but I'm happy and fortunate to be here, and through this experience, I hope it carries me through more experiences like this.
Well, you certainly earned it. An outstanding week here. What got you to here? All of a sudden, here you come. You show up on the horizon. Obviously, you had to be putting it together as you were going along.
I've gone through many frustrations the past year since joining the tour, and fortunately, I met up with a lot of positive people and good friends to keep me patient and just keeping a good frame of mind.
You indicated also that last night that you have adapted your game to just about every type of condition here. Is that something that's a positive for you going in?
Well, the conditions changed a little, and throughout the house, the lanes are much different. And it ended up a lot of different shots I tried, 3 or 4, and even a 5th one last night worked out in the end. And they might be there tonight or today, and we'll see what happens when I'm there.
Well, you know you're carrying the banner for left-handers as well as this one.
That's a unique position I'm in, and like I say, I'm very fortunate, and that's a little confidence builder right there, because there's some great ones there, Cook and Albee and Joe Salvemini, and there are others too.
I imagine you got a few folks rooting long distance for you.
I made a lot of calls. My phone bill probably will be more than my hotel bill this week.
You got to come through with a win here today.
I'd love to, yeah. Help out in all ways.
Do you get the idea, Earl Anthony, that Mike is happy to be here?
I think he's very happy, and I think Wayne Webb's happy that they're not going to have a fist fight out there if you look at the difference in sizes. Mike's a very big, strong young man, very free swing, gets a lot of power into the shot, and he makes the pins dance. It could be a really exciting, high-scoring match.
Up until now, Mike has been like a kid in a candy store.
Little soft, little soft. Wayne got a big break there. He knows that he let the ball off his hand early. During the break, he had to patch his hand, he had to repatch his thumb because he's had some problems with it, and I think that made him lose that shot a little bit. Not quite as firm as he was earlier. The ball breaks early. He almost had the 4-6.
If you are just joining us, Wayne Webb, a 226 to 179 winner over Mike Durbin.
Early in the match, all you want to do is fill frames. In other words, get marks. Don't let the guy get away early on you. Don't let him get that, or you give it away by getting opens. Let's see how Mike handles the pressure in his first shot.
You're looking at a man who has not won a dime this year.
Got the ball over the foul line well. Solid 7. I think that was a very good shot for the first try, don't you?
Absolutely. Get those butterflies out of the way. It's a lot different under these bright lights.
See the extension. Watch him get the ball well over the foul line. Long extension, good knee bend. Here's the problem Mike's had during the week, making these corner pins.
211 his average on the week.
Little short, ball hooked away. That's the problem. That's what's cost him some matches this week and kept his average down overall, really. The difference between Wayne Webb and Mike Lettick. One is an outstanding spare shooter. One is really just learning what it's like to bowl under pressure, and the corner pins make those spares are just as important as the strikes at times.
Mike very candid about his stature here. He knew that he was looking over his shoulder last night because in the last 5 games he bowled, he lost 4 of them.
And again, that's nerves, I think, Pete. He's just a little bit nervous out there. He made a good shot in the first frame, then missed an easy spare. Now he's thinking, still thinking of that shot, I think, a little bit, and he doesn't want to get in trouble, so he's a little tentative, really not being aggressive as he was all week.
Of the 5 games that his last 5 games in which he lost 4, he was only over 200 one time at 201.
Easy spare for Mike. And again, he's a very powerful player, and when you're that big and strong, there's a problem with muscle control, and Mike does have that problem. Every once in a while he kind of loses the shot. He's big and strong in the shoulders. He wants to use all that strength rather than letting the ball swing, and I think that can hurt him when he's under pressure.
Wayne Webb, one of only 24 players that have won 10 or more PBA titles.
And again, the solid 10. And Wayne is thinking, keep the ball in play. Let the kid make the mistakes. I've got the experience. I'm going to make good shots. If he starts getting hot, I'll get more aggressive. But right now, I just want to keep the ball in play. I don't want to give it away.
And he converts the spare. Wayne joining a list of bowlers here this afternoon that may have to wonder if that 10-pin isn't down there in cement.
That's a good point, Pete. I think you're right. I think it could be. He knew it was good when he let go of it, Pete. The reaction of Wayne Webb when he knows he's throwing the ball well, he starts running it out, gives it that hand slap.
Very confident man when he's up there.
More speed on the ball. The ball holds the line longer, doesn't cut through the pins. One of his best shots of the day.
Mike Lettick with an open frame and a spare. Would like a strike.
I talked to Mike before the matches started, and I asked him how he felt and everything, and he said he was very comfortable, that he had one problem that he had to work on very strongly, and that was being short with the ball, not getting it out over the foul line as he was earlier in the competition. And right there was a good example of being short with the ball, and it broke early, went through the heart of the pins, and he has a very difficult spare.
Mike has been troubled by a bad left ankle. He tore some ligaments in that ankle and put him off the tour for 8 weeks.
He's got to make the ball finish, and he did a little too much. Left the 7-pin, he chopped the spare. He's in a lot of trouble right now, but he's very capable of a lot of strikes, Pete, and I watched him throw a lot of them during the week, and and Wayne Webb is not a winner yet. Well, there it is, 25-pin deficit for Mike Lettick at this point, and Wayne Webb on a strike could extend that lead. Mike's got to get it going. He's got to do it now. He's got to start throwing those strikes like he knows he can. A little more speed. Much better.
There he goes.
Well, maybe he's getting a little mad. That could be it. I think he's a little disgusted with his performance at this point. He got more speed into the shot, extended farther, delayed the roll, and he's solid in the pocket. And he can do that a lot. He's capable of throwing 6 or 7 in a row. So Wayne Webb can't let up. He's got to still get out there, be aggressive, not to the point where he gives anything away, but keep the ball in the pocket.
25-pin lead for Wayne Webb. Wayne Webb not making it any easier on the youngster Mike Lettick.
2 of his best shots of the day. The strike in the 3rd frame, the strike in the 4th frame. Both, you couldn't throw them any better. Wayne Webb is very happy with that. He'd like to do it again. It's not as easy as it looks. The lane condition, again, is difficult. His speed control has to be perfect. Those 2 are as good as you can throw it. Let's see if he can continue with that type of speed. He's got to hold that speed up. Keep it firm. Don't let the ball break early.
Looking for 3 in a row. And there's
nervous.
Becky.
Yeah,
She was very casual early, but now it's getting a little bit nervous down. That helps.
3 in a row. Wayne Webb gets lined up, gets it going. He's very difficult to beat.
So it is Wayne Webb, who you see right there, putting the pressure on young Mike Lettick. Will it continue? We'll find out when we come back.
This is a heavy-duty interstate battery. And if we can make this cat purr, we've got a battery that'll make your outboard jump to life. That'll make your depth finder bleep and your trolling motor troll. And a battery that'll make your Bronco gallop all the way home. Interstate batteries. No matter what you want to start, we've got a battery that'll do it. Interstate batteries. With 92,000 dealers across America, there's one near you.
It begins as a dream, a quest for a moment of Olympic glory reserved for the very few. At Transamerica Insurance and Transamerica Occidental Life, we're supporting the dreams of every athlete by insuring the Olympic Games. Because our business is insuring people's dreams. Transamerica, insurance, finance, manufacturing, transportation, innovation. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
You, the video magazine for women, is a forerunner in women's television programming. Today's woman demands a lot from herself and from the world around her. You magazine brings viewers the latest in hair care, makeup, fitness, and fashion, and exclusive interviews with internationally famous designers. To look your best and feel great, turn to You, the video magazine for women, on the USA Network.
At 9 a.m. and noon Eastern Saturday and 4:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern Sunday.
Hello, I'm Bob Leap, inviting you to join me each week on Japan Today. Japan is a fascinating country, but it is changing. Join us and see how those changes affect us in the United States. That's Japan Today, right here on the USA Cable Network.
At 9:30 Eastern Saturday morning.
In match play leading up to this particular circumstance, Mike Lettick has lost only to Gil Sliker and beaten everyone else, including Wayne Webb.
Yeah, today's a new day, though, Pete. Now they're bowling on television for all the money.
He would like that one back.
What Mike, I think, might be going through his mind is, I don't want to be short. I want the ball to get down the lane, so he just overpowered it. The ball went way down the lane, broke very sharply on the back, and he has an almost impossible spare. For a professional, I'd say it's just as difficult as it is for the amateurs. Just looking at it makes you nervous.
So a third open frame for Mike Lettick, and things are beginning to slip away. Well, the youngster from Connecticut, who is a great baseball fan, loves baseball statistics, had always been a Yankee fan until recent times. Said he's not particularly thrilled with the way George Steinbrenner is doing things, so he has switched to the Mets.
Well, right now, maybe he should be talking to Wayne Webb about some of those baseball statistics to get his mind off bowling.
That'll help.
Well, Mike made his best shot of the match at this point. He's got the ball into a good roll. He didn't force it this time. He let the ball do the work for him on the lane. As long as he keeps getting it over the foul line, he's got a chance. Not by forcing it, by lifting it over the foul line.
A comfortable 59-pin lead for Wayne Webb.
Comfortable if he can keep it clean. That's the kind of break you look for when you've got a lead, and you usually get it when you've got a lead because you're more relaxed. Wayne's trying to make the ball roll a little more forward now. Watch the ball turn over, go into a forward roll, trip the 4 off the wall. That's a very powerful bowling ball that he's releasing. His release is one of the best on the tour.
Perhaps this figure tells us more about this match than anything. Wayne Webb, 36 TV appearances. Mike Lettick with none.
There's the 10 pin. He knew it when he let go of the ball. He was thinking, I got it a little too wide that time, Pete, and the ball came in a little behind the head pin. But he's happy. He thinks that's an easy spare. He doesn't miss it very often. He's got a nice big 68 pin lead if he covers the spare. Just like that.
Mike would just about have to roll strikes from here on out, would he not?
Well, if Mike strikes out, he has a possibility of shooting 210 if he strikes all the way. Wayne Webb going at a 228 clip. He would need some help from Wayne Webb. A few opens from Wayne Webb, or even one, could make it an exciting match. But at this point, Mike's in a lot of trouble.
And that didn't help matters any.
That didn't help. He tried to do what he did on lane 33. It didn't work on 34. He just let it get away from him a little bit. The ball broke very sharply on the back end. It's a difficult spare. It's called the baby split. He's got to fit it between the 2 pins. That's the proper way to make it. That's what he'll try to do. And just like that.
Nicely done for Mike Lettick.
Mike's going to look at that scoreboard and he's going to say, I wish I could start over. I wish I had one more shot at Wayne Webb. And there it is, 68 pin margin to the advantage of Wayne Webb.
He has an unorthodox style. Can you tell him anything in his approach, Earl, that he's doing wrong?
Well, his style is such that it's difficult to do it right every time. That's the biggest problem. He opens his shoulders, he turns away from his target area. He has to get back in position at the foul line for the ball to be out over the foul line and extend through the shot. See how his shoulders are open? He brings the ball back into play, almost sidearm. And when you do that, if your timing isn't perfect, it's almost impossible to be consistent. Straight forward, straight through, Wayne Webb. Ideal position at the foul line. Tremendous strength in his legs that helps him get the ball over the foul line and create all that power in the back end. One of the finest players to ever play the game, Pete. He's hard to beat when he gets lined up, and he's lined up right now.
Well, he has his opponent on the ropes, and he knows it, and he's not letting up at all. Mike Lettick concentrating on what he must do next. I don't even think he's looking at Wayne right here. Wayne Webb working toward a date. The man in the #1 position for the championship, Gil Sliker, 78 pin lead.
Well, we have a winner, Pete. 78 pin margin with 1.5 frames to go. I don't think Mike's can make that unless Wayne Webb should break a leg or something, and God forbid that happens. It looks like it's going to be Wayne Webb and Gil Sliker for the championship. There's a repeat of the last shot on lane 34, and just for the fun of it, he's going to show us he can make it twice in a row, I'll bet you.
Well, if not for the money, Mike Lettick would have liked to win today because it would have made him, prevented him from having to be a qualifier and no longer a rabbit.
That's the toughest part of being on the tour. There are a certain number of players that are exempt. Mike doesn't happen to be one of those. It's based on performance for a full year. Another fine shot by Mike. And a win exempts you for a year. Being in the top 50 point winners exempts you for a year. And Mike would sure like to do that. It makes it a lot easier. It's tough enough to go city to city every week, 35 weeks in a row, without worrying about qualifying on Monday just to get into the event on Wednesday.
Pressure all week long.
All week long. But he's going to get a nice paycheck, Pete.
Well, as he said in our interview, it's he's going to need it for the phone calls that he's made.
He's really a nice young man, and I'm sure that he's got a future in the game. He needs to do some work on his game, but he'll get there. He's been getting some instruction from some of the touring players that are always willing to help the other players, especially the rookies, and Mike's been getting some help, and I think he's going to improve.
A very sober demeanor throughout his competition here, but a very engaging personality.
Well, we've had the good and the bad today, Pete. 279 by Mike Durbin. We've got a 160 game here by Mike Lettick, and we've had a few in between. And Wayne Webb is just going along steady.
And we'll see if Wayne can carry that steadiness into the final match. It certainly eluded Mike Durbin when he had a great first game, 279, and then couldn't find it in the second time.
Wayne looks like he's getting stronger, though, Pete. You notice he seems to have finally got the speed just right. He's kept every ball in play this match. He's working on getting ready for Gil Sliker now. He wants to keep that speed there, and there it was. The release and the speed, that's the key to this game, and Wayne's got it down right now. He's got the right release with the right speed. So the ball breaks at the right point, enters the pins at the right point to carry off 10 of them. If he can keep that speed and that release,
Wayne Webb.
Gil's in trouble.
Trying to achieve his second championship of the year, one right off the bat in the Rolaids Open in Anaheim. First event of the year.
Last shot of the match for Wayne Webb, and a bad break, but who cares, right?
He'll take it. There he is, a happy winner, and if there's such a thing as a happy loser, it is Mike Lettick. He was just pleased as punch to even be here. The final tabulation, 257 for Wayne Webb as he prepares for Gil Sliker, 160 in his debut for Mike Lettick. Nice going to both men. We'll return for our championship match in just a moment.
In 1984, people will leave their homelands to attend the largest peacetime event in the world. 10,000 athletes from almost every country on Earth, and Transamerica Insurance and Transamerica Occidental Life will support the dreams of every athlete by insuring the Olympic Games. Because our business is insuring people's dreams. Transamerica, insurance, finance, manufacturing, transportation, innovation. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
The fuse has been lit for explosive action. USA has packed your Tuesday nights with the superstars of wrestling. It's Tuesday Night Titans Wrestling TNT. Featuring the heroes, the villains, the glamour, the glory. Tuesday Night Titans Wrestling TNT. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on USA. It's dynamite.
This weekend on Night Flight, take off with dancing videos featuring Michael Jackson, Dire Straits, Flashdance, and more. The top 10 includes the latest from Bob Dylan and Laura Branigan, plus commercial-free heavy metal, all on Night Flight. At 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on USA, Friday and Saturday.
It's Olympic profiles, previews, a look back, and a look ahead. Countdown to 84. Check local listings.
When demons creep into the darkness and night's shadows haunt your soul, your dreams become nightmares. Wake up for Saturday Nightmares. 3 fright-filled hours, beginning with tales of the unexpected. Then the choicest chillers from the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. Be prepared to be scared out of your wits with Saturday Nightmares on the USA Network. Starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Saturday.
Wayne Webb into the finals with Gil Sliker, a young man from Washington, New Jersey, who is making his 4th championship appearance this year. Only one time, though, has Gil Sliker ever started from the number 1 position, so this is sort of foreign territory for Schleicher, who is 33 years old, and his career earnings of $68,055. That is 6th place in the PBA standings for a career. Or I should check that. That is 1984 earnings. That puts him in 6th place. I had a chance to talk with Gil Sliker before today's play began, and we talked about being in the top 5. Gil, $400,000 in career earnings, and yet you have 1 title to your credit. That was a doubles championship with Mike Durbin, your partner. Is that something that enters your mind as you sit in the number 1 position here?
Oh, yes, it does. I try not to let it bother me, but it's always there, because I've been in this position about 5 or 6 times, and I've only come away a champion once. So it's in the back of my mind. It seems like every time I get in this position, I bowl a pretty good game. It's not that I bowl a real bad game. It's just that either the breaks go the other way, or it comes down to the 10th frame and I just get wrapped or throw a bad shot. So you throw a bad shot no matter what in a lot of different situations. So I try not to let that bother me. It's just one of those things, it seems like. So I'm just going to go out and try to bowl the best I can.
Well, you certainly have been a model of consistency throughout your career, and certainly in this event this week.
Yeah, this week it turned out it was amazing. I've been on a 4-week no cash streak, so I was kind of a little leery about coming in here, and I went back to my old game, and it worked out real good. I stayed real consistent all week.
This particular lanes, is it groomed to your kind of bowling?
I think so. It's the first time I ever bowled here. It was the first time we ever came here, and it was a tough condition, a grind-out type shot where you just try to stay clean and make the best shots you can, and hopefully you shoot 200. And with my type of roll, it seemed like I had the best carry. That's probably why I led it.
Gil Sliker preparing for his championship match right here, and he's going against a man in Wayne Webb, who in 2 games here, starting in the number 3 position, is averaging 241.
Outstanding bowling by Wayne Webb, but he's against one of the real stylists on the tour. And in Gil Sliker, I think, if anything that has hurt Gil's game in championship matches, it's been the fact that when he starts his arm swing, he starts it to the inside, brings it to the outside, tries to tuck it back in, and has a tendency for the ball to hook early. He gets the big split in crucial situations. He tries to overcome that by increasing the speed, and sometimes that isn't the answer.
Becky Webb now not even able to look anymore. She has gone from composed to very, very tense. What a way to start it out for Wayne Webb.
Wayne Webb has opened the lane up. By opening the lane up, I mean he's developed a little more area to the right. And by doing so, he's created a bigger pocket area. The ball breaks sooner when he gets it wide. It sets up for him when he tugs it a little bit. The ball's entering the pins at the right angle to strike. He's going to be tough, very tough.
217 average this week here at Dublin Bowl for Gil Sliker. Well, he's done what he has seen others do before him, leave the 10-pin.
Gil Sliker is a real stylist, and watch his approach position, the arm swing, just above shoulder high, goes through the shot with his hand on the side, lifts directly through the center of the ball. Good, excellent balance at the foul line. Gil's biggest problem, again, is that he swings slightly to the inside when he takes the ball from behind his back, and has a tendency to get the ball short or start it rolling early. He's an excellent spare shooter, one of the best.
Gil Sliker makes it look as easy as anybody here.
It's a good fluid arm swing. I think if the match gets to the 8th, 9th, 10th frame area and it's close, the advantage will be to Wayne Webb. Experience-wise, he's more aggressive on the lanes. Gil Sliker has to get started early. He's got to get some strikes early.
Crystal Schleicher looking on here.
Nervous young lady, very pretty. Bad break.
Once again, the 10-pin.
Much better shot than the first shot on lane 34. 34, again, is the tighter of the lanes. This one, he moved in a little deeper, gave the ball a little more room. Ball just was a little bit behind the head pin, and there's that 10-pin, and that's typical of Dublin Bowl. Leave that 10-pin when the ball's a little late.
That one he won't like at all. Into the channel and an open frame here for Gil Sliker, and he is not happy with himself at all. Just gave himself a real scolding.
Well, he's one of the better spare shooters on the tour, and he just doesn't happen very often that Gil will miss a spare like that. It's a shame, but fortunately it's early in the match, Pete. Wayne Webb taking advantage of a mistake by Gil Sliker, coming back with a double, gets him an early lead of 22 pins. Again, Wayne Webb's a very aggressive player. He gives it everything he's got. He goes through the shot very strongly. He knows it's a good shot. He runs it out, and he says, that's pressure for Gil. I've got a lead on him of 22 pins. He's got to catch up.
In their only head-to-head meeting in this tournament, Wayne Webb defeated Schleicher by 12 pins, 211 to 199.
A little high. Got the break.
When things are going your way, anything falls, and everything.
When Wayne lets go of this ball, he knows that he didn't throw it the way he wanted to throw it. He was a little soft with the speed. The ball broke a little earlier. He hit high on the head pin, but he got the good break off the wall, tripping out the 4-7 with the head pin. That kind of a break puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. When he knows you can strike from there, it makes it tougher to make good shots for you.
And only in the third frame, and Schleicher finds himself 32 pins down.
A little wide. Coming back. We got it. All right. That's what we want to see out of Gil. Much more aggressive play there by Gil Sliker. That's his best shot of the match. He went after it. He knows he's got to get back in the match right away to stay with Wayne Webb. We're looking at a 32-pin margin for Wayne Webb on the positive side. A strike here can cut it to 22 for Gil Sliker, and he has to have it. Even though it's early in the match, Pete, Gil knows it's for all the money right now.
Schleicher's percentage in TV appearances is not real good, 12. And he's
Something's bothering him.
Something.
Something's bothering him off to the left over there.
12 of 20 in 21 appearances, won 12 and lost 20.
He'll get his composure back. He'll get up there and make a good shot. He's a very experienced player, and he did the right thing by setting the ball down and starting over. The difference between that shot and the 10-pin, the big difference is the amount of loft on the ball. Watch how far over the foul line he threw the ball, at least 4 or 5 feet. And what that does is delay the roll, makes the ball skid longer, stay on line longer. And that's why he got the 10-pin out rather than hooking it into the pocket. He kept it on line.
Gil's got a little of the bulldog in him right now. He really got on himself after that open frame.
He wants to win very badly, very badly. First bad break of the match for Wayne. He carried the 10-pin extremely well last game, and this time he threw the ball. I don't think he could have thrown it any better. It's just one of those things that happened to stand.
Earl, you better check these guys for 10 pins in their bag when they leave here.
Right. Wayne Webb with 21-pin lead at this point after 4 frames of bowling. On a spare, Gil Sliker on a double. It's still a good match. Anybody's match at this point, Pete.
The winner here gets $18,000. The runner-up, $9,500.
This is an opportunity for Gil Sliker that he might not get later in the match. Now, if he doesn't take advantage of it, this could be, even though it's early in the match, the turning point. If Gil doesn't jump on this right now and come back with a couple of strikes to even the match up, he might not get another opportunity.
Well, we are just about halfway through this final match, and we will see if Gil Sliker can take advantage of this situation right now when we return.
We know how much you love sports, so what would it take to get you to pick up the phone and order Sports Illustrated? A free trip to the Super Bowl? Sorry. How about a discount when you subscribe? Say 10% off? 25? 35%? Okay, how about more than 50% off the cover price? That's a savings of almost $1 on every issue. And we'll kick off with a whole new football season, including the bowl games, NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl, plus coverage of baseball, basketball, boxing. No one captures the spirit of the game better than Sports Illustrated. So why aren't you dialing? All right, what if we also include Sports Illustrated's College and Pro Football Spectacular? Over 200 pages that let you preview today's top college teams and tomorrow's Super Bowl heroes. More? How about our famous swimsuit issue that features sports in a different light? Not enough? Well, to top it off, this is the greatest year in Sports Illustrated's history, with Olympics coverage that lets you follow the course of America's gold medal hopefuls. What do you want? A medal? Okay. You'll also receive the Sports Illustrated Olympic Collector's Pin. So, how about a final bonus? This exclusive Sports Illustrated chronograph. It's a stopwatch that gives you the time right down to the 100th of a second. It's also a clock and calendar with day and date. So why aren't you pressing those pretty little buttons? Oh, the phone number. It's 1-800-621-3800. 28 issues of Sports Illustrated for 3 easy installments of just $8.99. That's more than half off the cover price, including the College and Pro Football Spectacular and the swimsuit issue, plus this official Olympic pin and 7-function chronograph free with your paid subscription. So now what?
I can't see the phone number.
It's 1-800-621-3800. Call now.
Crystal Schleicher thinking nothing but strikes right here.
She sat through a lot of these, Pete. She's very nervous, obviously. She wants her husband to win very badly, probably more than he does.
Gil Sliker with 1 championship to his credit, the doubles in the Showboat Classic. That last year with Mike Durbin. This year his best finish in 1984 has been a second in the Showboat Invitational.
Notice how Gil holds the ball slightly to the side. It creates a pull at release. And that's the problem right there. When you have that position of your hand, it's difficult to keep the ball on line. You tend to come over the top of it and pull the ball, and it hooks early.
He knew the minute he let it go that it wasn't headed for anything he'd like.
Very important that he cover the spare. Can't afford to give anything away to Wayne. Good cover. Excellent shot. 22-pin margin for Wayne Webb at this point. He's ahead by 22. That was an opportunity missed by Gil Sliker.
Here's where we are.
Could have put him right back in the match.
Big Lieben Good and Earl Anthony from Earl Anthony's Dublin Lanes. Hope you're enjoying this.
Shooting out a big prize fund this week, $125,000, $18,000 to the winner. Wayne Webb sitting there thinking, I've got him. I hope I can keep him where I got him right now. Gil's a very determined player.
And there's a bit of that determination as he comes right back with a strike.
The left lane being the driest or the one that hooks the most for the players. Gil is extending really well. He's getting the ball well over the foul line. The right-hand lane he's a little tentative on. He's got to be more aggressive on 34. Let's see what Wayne can do now. 22-pin lead at this point.
Keeping the pressure on is Wayne Webb.
The green machine. That's what Wayne Webb is called, the green machine on the tour, because he's like a machine when he gets it going. There's the score, plus 22 at this point for Wayne Webb. Both players on a strike. Wayne Webb doesn't. Gil Sliker has to.
Wayne Webb, a .210 average on the week, but .241 in 2 championship games.
There's that explosive power of Wayne Webb's bowling ball, and he was very aggressive on that shot.
Confident young man.
Very confident. well over the foul line with the bowling ball. A lot of revolutions, blows the 5-pin right across the lane, and look at the reaction. A lot of power. He knew he threw the ball well.
Concentrating, visualizing what's next. Sliker down by 32 pins.
Good shot. That's an excellent shot. Best shot of the match by Gil Sliker.
Gil Sliker not leaving here without a fight.
Got the ball over the foul line, but this lane again being the tighter, he has to go more direct, which he did, but he kept the speed firm. He didn't ease up on the shot at all that time, and if Gil makes a mistake, it's because he tends to ease up a little bit and try to fit the ball. He's got to be aggressive, keep his speed up. Lost it off his hand. You can see he was looking at his hand. The ball fell off his thumb a little early. Didn't get a chance to really lift the ball or get the rotation he wanted on the ball so it would finish into the pins. Again, he's still in the match. He's only 24 pins down at this point. He must cover this spare. It's a difficult spare. It's easy to chop. He's going to try to fit the ball between the 2 pins.
Crystal Sliker can barely look right now.
And he chopped it.
And that hurt.
That could be the match, Pete, and I'm sorry to say, because it was a good match to this point. Wayne Webb being a very aggressive player with a 36-pin lead. Could make it 46 if he strikes here.
Working on 2 strikes.
There's that carry power, all that revolutions and ball speed.
No stopping this 26-year-old young man right now.
The strength and power of Wayne Webb. The ball revolving, driving through the pins. Trips the 4-7 with the head pin off the wall. Again, when you can carry that hit, you're almost unbeatable. And Wayne Webb is in the driver's seat, but it's easy to see that.
The 10-pin rattled a little that time, but did not fall as Wayne Webb pursues PBA title number 14.
At this point in the 9th frame for Wayne Webb, he doesn't even have to stay clean. All he's going to try to do now, he doesn't have to worry about strikes. He just wants to fill the frames. If he gets 1 mark in the next 2 frames, he's a winner. And that's a winning shot right there. So, Pete, we've got a winner. I expected a better match. I really did. Gil Sliker's had a lot of bad breaks on television in the past. I expected this might be his day. I knew Wayne Webb would bowl well, but Gil's a fine player.
Still going for it, though, Gil Sliker.
He's a professional. He's we call Gil Sliker the pro's pro because he's professional in every sense of the word. He works hard at his game. He's good with the people. He does an outstanding job in the pro-am. As far as the PBA is concerned, he promotes quite well. He's a professional's professional. Again, the nemesis of the players all week long, Pete, that solid 10-pin, good shot. Just not quite the power and the drive that Wayne Webb's ball has to kick that 10 out once in a while. 45-pin lead for Wayne Webb. Gil Sliker bowling in the 10th frame.
Gil Sliker will go away with $9,500 here on this afternoon.
Pete, I think Gil Sliker would give the $9,500 back to Kessler if they'd give him the championship. He would trade it away.
I think you're right.
Well, he knows he's a winner.
His 2nd victory on the championship trail this year.
Very disappointed, Gil Sliker. Very disheartened. He's bowled extremely well all week. In his mind, he won the tournament before the televised portion of the event by leading the event. Wayne Webb came from 3rd place by bowling tremendously well, averaging close to 240 for his 3 matches. That's great bowling on a low-scoring condition.
He exuded confidence from the first ball that he let go, and he's been that same picture all the way here. I don't think he's had an open frame, has he, in the 3 games that he's bowled?
I don't think he has, and in fact, he hasn't hardly missed the pocket. Most every ball he's thrown has been in the 1-3 pocket. And that's great bowling again, because the lane condition is not that easy to beat. It's been difficult all week, but there's our champion. What a great play Wayne Webb made today. He's been outstanding all week, and he was very aggressive today. Very determined, Wayne Webb.
And he finished it like a champion, ramming them all down. 10 pins and a hug and a kiss for wife Becky.
My, I wouldn't mind being Wayne Webb right now.
Well, the new bride is saying, hey, what do you mean? This was easy. There you have it. The final score in this one, 236 for Wayne Webb, 189 for Gil Sliker, our new champion of the $125,000 Kessler Open at the Earl Anthony Dublin Bowl is Wayne Webb. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is a heavy-duty interstate battery. And if we can make this cat purr, we've got a battery that'll make your outboard jump to life. That'll make your depth finder bleep and your trolling motor troll. And a battery that'll make your Bronco gallop all the way home. Interstate batteries. No matter what you want to start, we've got a battery that'll do it. Interstate batteries. With 92,000 dealers across America, there's one near you.
You know, we haven't messed up an engine all day. It was your idea to come here.
Yeah, big parking lot, lots of cars.
Has the whole world switched to mobile super unleaded gasoline?
It's so powerful.
And it's got high octane. Oh, what do they have against knocking and pinging? Fellas, let's forget about mobile super unleaded.
Why?
It's beneath us.
In the West, where Levi Strauss & Company began, how your clothes feel has always been just as important as how they look. That's why Levi's Action Slacks have an easy care fabric that gives, plus a waistband that moves with you. It's a feeling of comfort that's capturing more men every day. Levi's Action Slacks. A real comfort from Levi's Menswear.
He always took chances, defied convention, and became internationally renowned. Cover Story presents an intriguing portrait of the man behind the image that is Anthony Quinn.
I don't feel that I am blessed with any great talent. As a matter of fact, just between you and me, I think I have very little talent. But what I do have is great perseverance.
A true artist in every sense, Anthony Quinn, this week on Cover Story on the USA Network. Next.
How about that? Into the winner's circle for the 14th time in his career on the PBA Tour, and the second time this year is Wayne Webb. Congratulations to Wayne, and this very sizable trophy here is about to be yours, to be presented to you by the National Product Manager for Kessler, Dennis Brophy. Dennis?
Thank you, Pete. Wayne, on behalf of Smooth as Silk Kessler and Calvert Distillers, our parent company, I'd like to congratulate you on a really gritty performance. Truly worthy of the Kessler Championship. And also, I'd like to present to you this trophy, which symbolizes our championship. I understand this is your second Kessler, and I'm sure the way you bowled today is, if it's indicative of the future for you, you're going to have a lot more Kessler trophies on your mantle. Congratulations again, Wayne.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Kessler for sponsoring another great tournament. And the fans and everyone was just fantastic. They were really supportive this week. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Wayne, a very fine and deserving champion. And I must say to you, on your way to your next stop, that will not store under your airplane seat, so you'll have to check it at baggage, that is for sure. Very handsome trophy, headed for Wayne Webb. And now to present the other half of the benefits of winning a professional bowling championship, the money aspect of it, $18,000 to Wayne Webb, is the Western Region Director of the PBA, Ted Hoffman. Ted?
Thank you, Pete.
behalf of Kessler and, of course, Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl and myself, I want to congratulate you on winning the first prize. And I see Becky has just snuck in there. But you're a great champion, and we're looking forward to having you coming back next year again, Wayne. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ted.
You can have back.
We had this rehearsed. I always get it back at the end. No, I'd just like to thank everyone one more time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You come on in here, Becky. If I didn't know better, I'd say the check had already been spent.
Kinda. No, not really.
Kinda. How was this for you? You're not a veteran at this like Wayne is. I watched you early in the round, and you were very casual. And then as he advanced, it became a little more tense for you.
Yeah, I was nervous, but you know, I thought he was going to win, but I didn't want to get overconfident. But you know, that sounds terrible. But
after watching this,
I just wanted him to win really bad.
Do you think it's ever possible to be overconfident?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Well, this was certainly a dandy win for both of you. Wayne, I'm wondering, coming in here from ball number 1, you looked extremely confident. Did you feel that way?
I felt real good this week. 2 weeks ago, I learned what I was doing wrong for the last 2 or 3 years with my arm swing, and I felt better than I felt in a long, long time, and that really helped my confidence.
Coming from the way you were admittedly in a bit of a slump after winning the first tournament of the year and then getting in the TV round in the successive 2 weeks. Then you went into a bit of slump. Did you begin at all to perhaps doubt your abilities at all?
Yeah, I think when you're bowling bad and you bowl bad for long enough, you start doubting everything. And you work at it long enough, and I'd go home and practice and feel like I'm bowling good, come back out on tour, and I wouldn't be bowling that good. So I just kept working. I've been working harder now than I've probably ever worked.
Earl, I know you were very much impressed with his performance today.
I was glad I wasn't bowling against him today. Wayne, his outstanding performance. I noticed that during the tournament, as I'd come in to watch you in match play, you were playing more of an outside angle. And then as you went on the telecast today, you were moving around a little bit. Was it because the lanes changed, or you just weren't confident with that angle, or what was the real reason you moved inside?
Well, I was playing inside the entire tournament up until last night. I tried moving around because my carry wasn't that good. I could hit the pocket, and I figured I had to find something I could hit the pocket and get a little bit better carry. I tried outside early, and I struck real well, and then it kind of disappeared. So I decided to play in where I knew I could hit the pocket and try to find a speed that would carry even better.
Okay, and watching you on telecast, you seemed to change roles or releases during the matches. As you did that, was there a specific reason why you wanted to change your role? What did it do for the ball, and what did it do for your carry?
Well, in the middle of the first match, I had already left 2 solid 10 pins, and I saw that the ball was rolling too hard, and I had to change something to try to increase my carry. So I just tried getting around it a little bit more and making the ball hit just a little bit weaker, and it worked.
Outstanding performance by Wayne Webb. It looks like you could be the bowler of the 80s. Great performance. We're really proud of you. Like to have you back next year.
I'll be back.
You. Great. Okay.
I got to wonder if they like you here. You know that?
I think they like his wife here, too.
We're going to get them back to California again real soon. I'm just wondering if you haven't been looking over your shoulder at Mr. Anthony here. I know you both run bowling alleys, and you guys been comparing notes?
Not totally, but he runs a fine establishment, and I just hope that I can do as good a job.
Well, thank you, Wayne. That's very kind. Appreciate it.
And I'm sure that Wayne Webb would be just as glad to say that he is glad Earl Anthony is no longer on the tour. But we don't want to take away from his shining moment right now. His second tournament win of the year, his 14th in his career. Congratulations to Wayne Webb. So that's going to do it from us here from the Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl in Dublin, California. Hope you enjoyed the show. An outstanding win for Wayne Webb. Glad you could be with us. So long for now.
The $125,000 Kessler Open on the USA Network has been brought to you by Mobile Super Unleaded Gasoline. Mobile Super Unleaded, it's really powerful. And by Levi's Action Slacks and Action Jeans.
It's the rage of Sunday television. All-American Wrestling at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on USA every